If I don't make it, give this to my ex-wife. That's all she gets.
Good to go.
She's already got everything else.
1 minute.
Legal. Today, I'm going to be talking about video games and the toxic, entitled culture surrounding them. Yeah, that's what I said, toxic, entitled. It's like, when I was young, I used to play video games to escape reality. I had a Commodore 128, I'd go play some video games, and I'd be transported into like a fantasy world or a sci-fi world or some shit like that. But nowadays, it's like we don't play video games for fun. We play video games to be triggered and upset and outraged. And that's what I'm going to talk about today. We're going to go over recent games, some of them really recent, some of them are a little older, but we're going to go over the fucking outrage that surrounded the games. So sit back and enjoy this shit. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and like this video. First up, we have Medal of Honor Warfighter, released by Electronic Arts in 2012.
What is your problem with this game? How is this any different, as many would say, than kids playing cops and robbers? Somebody has to play the bad guy.
Well, war is not a game, period. I just don't see that a video game based on a current war makes any sense at all. It's disrespectful. That people can sit in their recliner and play this game, go grab a beer, come back and play again, and it's just not based on reality. But my son didn't get to start over when he was killed. His life was over, and I have to deal with that every day. There's 1,200 families from Afghanistan that have to deal with this every day, and we live it. It's not a game. It's just not a game, and I don't think that they should be putting this reality. EA is very cavalier about it. Well, it's just a game, but it isn't a game to the people who are suffering from the loss of their children or their loved ones.
These games sell millions and millions of copies, so whether or not they come out and pull it off the shelves is another story. Karen Merritt, we appreciate you coming on.
It's okay to suit up as the Taliban and mow down American soldiers. That's fine, but I find it unpatriotic. This is real. You are looking an American soldier in the eye and shooting him and laughing about it. And I called one of my friends who's a veteran, and he said, this...
According to the media, the two major problems with Medal of Honor Warfighter is that Electronic Arts had designated the Taliban as enemies of the United States. And if that shit wasn't enough, they had licensed real-world weapons from gun manufacturers. Don't worry, Electronic Arts has promised to never do that shit again. And just when you think it can't get any worse, saying fuck you to the NRA wasn't good enough for Electronic Arts. No. They had to go one step further. 7 members of SEAL Team 6 got jammed up on this game. They got jammed up because they were working as consultants, and they might have accidentally shared some tactics, procedures, and strategies that we use against real-world enemies. As if Medal of Honor Warfighter's real-world problems weren't enough, the reviews for this game absolutely fucking tanked. There were some major problems. The game wasn't innovative like Call of Duty. The multiplayer played more like Counter-Strike. There was a 200 megabyte patch required on day 1. Just how bad were the reviews? Well, thank you for asking. Let me read you just one paragraph from a review from Rock, Paper, Shotgun. It then goes to a first-person view. Your gun held out, a targeting retinal placed over the back of his head, and you're told to click fire. You're technically in control, but while you can move the mouse a fraction, it's not possible to move the target away from his head. You cannot move from the spot you're stood on. You can do literally nothing other than shoot this stranger, about whom you know nothing, in the back of his head. That is your only possible interaction. In the opening seconds of the game, I do not want to click. While Medal of Honor did have plenty of issues, stemming from shitty graphics, lousy sound, and stolen valor. Yes, I said stolen valor. The AI clearly was never a tier 1 operator. It's hard not to notice that rating games just based on graphics, sound, music, story, and gameplay is something that we no longer do. And that's okay with me because I'm just here to watch the whole world burn.
No.
What the fuck? Get down!
The next shit show starts off in a little place we call Hope County. This is Far Cry 5 by Ubisoft, released in March of 2018. This is a fairly new game. Oh shit, I'm fucking sorry. I thought Ubisoft was the studio behind this game. I guess it's George Soros and the fucking liberals.
Far Cry 5 video is propaganda from the left. George Soros probably backed that. Probably funded by Soros and the Media Matters types. They're probably funding that kind of propaganda.
Ah, fuck. Are you kidding me? The liberals are scared of this game too? What?
I decided to make my character black, so going onto his property and actually hearing him talk about like this sort of deeply conservative and like, you know, sort of gun-toting attitudes, that made me really uncomfortable.
And just like fucking that, instead of worrying about the graphics, the sound, the gameplay, the story, we're enthralled with some weird fucking shit. I seriously don't even understand what to say about this shit. Let me read you some of the comments and tweets and shit online about this game. Like I said earlier, like, didn't we used to play games for fun? Like, when did gaming stop being fun? Guess who are the villains in the new Far Cry game? Muslim terrorists who explode nail bombs? ISIS who burn people alive? Nope. Christians. Far Cry 5? Let's fight some Republicans. That's what I'm getting from this poster. Liberals are tripping over themselves in an orgy of self-gratification at the prospect of shooting potential Trump voters in virtual space. And lastly, there's the change.org petition, which I'm pretty sure someone's fucking trolling. Like, this is ridiculous. It asks, change the villains. It's not so hard, really. Just change the villains to something more realistic. Islam is on the rise in America, as is the violence of inner-city gangs. So we could fight, you know, gangs and Muslims.
Could be overcome if you embraced.
Also, it recommends to throw in some blacks and Mexicans.
That freedom from sin can come from the power.
Are you guys just fist fucking me? Like, what is this shit, dude? Like, I don't even want to believe it. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, dude, there's no way this shit is true. These guys are just trolls. But let's take a look at the so-called journalist, Mike Kozovich. You know, the guy that wrote, like, Guerrilla Mindset, like a motivational book, like how to get shit done. And then, like,
we are creeping toward the end.
Far Cry 5, waging war on Christianity. You can't make this stuff up. But as journalists, we do have to tell the truth. And the truth is that the video game world and the video game industry is controlled by the far left, by the social justice warriors. They are now directly attacking Christians. Look at these lunatic Christians. I mean, that really is what that Far Cry thing is. Look at these lunatic Christians. If you believe in God and Jesus and you believe in Easter and Christmas and Christianity, you're some evil cultist who's probably a cannibal, making Christians, trying to make Christians look terrible. I think that that's awful. I think it's disgusting. I think it's Christian phobic. I think it goes against Western values. I think it's vile. And I know that it's propaganda designed to create violence against Christians. The terrorism, again, it isn't happening from a Christian, but there's a large segment of Muslims who do endorse terrorism. AK-47s, murders everywhere, bombed by radical Islamic terrorism, Muslims, and that's just the truth. Far Cry 5 is propaganda from the left. George Soros probably backed that. So Far Cry 5 and the Hollywood and media entertainment establishment, they won't dare criticize Islam. Let's just imagine as a thought experiment. Let's imagine there was a video game funded by a major corporation, and they were talking about Muslims being radicalized and sharing propaganda. What would the media do with something like this? Would that video game ever be allowed on the shelves? And you did a video game like Far Cry 5, but you made it about Islam, you would go to prison.
Don't forget that Mike Kozovich works for InfoWars, or at least I assume he does, because he was slanging their fucking pills in this 16-minute long video. Yes, I edited it. I condensed it the fuck down. And in typical InfoWars fashion,
they edited me completely out of context.
so there we have it. We had 2 games that had a lot of controversy surrounding them, a lot of toxic behavior, or what I consider toxic behavior. So I'm going to probably make another series in this episode, and we're going to discuss some other games, some newer games actually I'd like to talk about where the fan base is literally shitting themselves. So thanks for watching. Make sure to sub the channel and give this video a like.
God has kept you under the shadow of his wings.
Everything is unfolding according to God's plan.